Hello! Today I will show you how you can get started with impulse tracker modules and how to use them using Concord in Unreal Engine 5 to play back pattern data. If you saw the video I posted earlier about using MIDI and Metasounds to play back the pattern data, you'll have seen that it's quite a bit of work to set up a Metasound to play back these patterns. It's a bit easier to use an impulse tracker editor like this one I've opened right here, which is called OpenMPT, to set up an impulse tracker module which contains samples and mixing settings to actually create your playback environment within an impulse tracker module and then load that with a Concord node that can be used within a Metasound graph that plays back impulse tracker modules. So to demonstrate this, I will do a very quick walkthrough of how you can set up an impulse tracker module using OpenMPT and load it into Unreal using the Concord plugin. First, you'll want to create a new instrument, and in these instruments you can load a sample. I will load a simple kick sample right here. Then I will create another instrument, and in this one I will load a melodic sample like this pluck. Now that I have this loaded up, I create my pattern. I will create a very short pattern for this demonstration, just 8 notes. And on channel 1, I will use my instrument 1, which is the kick. Actually, I still have the pluck selected, so I have to switch down to the kick. And I'll put in a very simple pattern, then switch over to channel 2 and use my pluck to put down a very simple melody. Now that we have this set up, let me save this module to the desktop as module3.it and then switch over to Unreal, where we can now just create a new folder for this tutorial and click Import, navigate to the desktop and module 3 that we've just created. And upon using this import function on an impulse tracker module, Concord will import 2 assets for you. One is the module that actually contains the samples, and the other is the default pattern, which is the one that you had specified in pattern 0 of your module. So we can look in this pattern and we will see our kick values that we have put in and also the note values for our pluck, which are just the MIDI note numbers. And to play back this default pattern using our module asset, we can simply create a new Metasound. And in this new Metasound, I will once again delete the one-shot interface because we don't need it. Instead, we will drop in a Concord module player node. Here we can select the module and we'll use module 3, which is the one we've just imported. And we will select the module 3 default pattern, which was imported with the module. Then we'll hook up the start and we'll hook up the audio. We can also turn this Metasound into stereo. Now there is a caveat about stereo and using the impulse tracker module types. Concord relies on libxmp to play back the impulse tracker file format, and this library does not support stereo samples. So what you have to do instead is you have to hard pan instruments, one for the left channel and one for the right channel. Concord supports just having one track in a pattern that feeds both the left and the right channel, so you don't have to specify every melody twice just because you have a stereo sample playing it back. But it's a bit of more work to set up. For this simple overview, let's just take a listen to what this tracker module player produces now that we've hooked it up and set our defaults. So this is how you can get started using impulse tracker modules as playback devices for your Concord patterns in Metasound in Unreal Engine 5. Obviously, the purpose of Concord is not to simply play back the default pattern of such a module, but rather create these pattern data in real time using statistical modeling. You can check out the other tutorials on this channel for more on that. Thank you for watching, have a good one of whatever you're having.